Hello and namaste to all. I am Anvesha Goswami, your digital account manager, and I am back with the second episode of Hilti Live series of 2023. Now, I would give a couple of more minutes and allow our viewers to join in. In the meantime, let me remind you that all my previous episodes are available on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Do check them out and leave in your valuable feedbacks. Now, as you can see, I am standing in front of a set of tools. Do you want to take a guess which tools are these? That's right, my friends. My friends who commented rebarring, these tools are rebarring tools. So last year, I did an episode on installing a rebar, how to install a rebar, and what all chemicals do we have in our portfolio in Hilti India. If you want to know more on the portfolio of rebarring, I would be linking my link to the episode. You can check it out. Now, today's episode is not about the portfolio. आज के एपिसोड में हम डिस्कस करेंगे डिजाइनिंग ऑफ अ पोस्ट इंस्टॉल्ड रीबार कनेक्शन. Earlier last month, we saw a bang-on launch of our all-new process engineering software for rebar connections. And to discuss more on this topic, today I would like to invite Prashant Sharma, who is working as the Technical Marketing Manager with Hilti India for over 6 years.
Hello Anvesha.
Hi Prashant.
Thank you for inviting me once again on Hilti Live episode. I'm glad to be back with my viewers.
Thank you Prashant for your valuable time. Let's get started with today's episode.
Sure.
So Prashant, I would like to start our conversation today with a very basic question. What is rebarring and why is rebarring important? Could you explain it to our viewers today?
Thank you Anvesha for asking my favorite question. So the first part of the question is, what is rebarring? So post-install rebarring is about adding a new reinforcement to the existing concrete member at a specific anchorage length such that the transfer of forces from new reinforcement happens in the same way as it would have been in case of casting reinforcement. Coming to the second part of the question, why rebarring? It has become an integral part of today's construction practices primarily because of two reasons. The first reason is changes are inevitable, and rebarring is the technology that addresses those changes in the most efficient way. Second, the structure engineers has also started considering it as a part of planned processes, because if I talk about certain specific applications like stairwell case, there it makes the construction more efficient, more faster as compared to it would have been in case of casting. Thus, it makes the construction speed more faster and more efficient.
So Prashant, as far as I understood, a rebar acts as a skeleton for any structure. But what is happening right now in the market? For example, I am a customer and I want to get rebarring done. I know the chemical and I decide the chemical based on the diameter of the rebar, and then I ask for the particular chemical and get my rebarring done. Now, could you please explain it to my viewers that where does designing in this plays a part? Like, I am going ahead with rebarring, what if I don't do designing?
So first of all, I would say we cannot use or install our rebarring connection based on the past experiences or some thumb rules. Why? Because you see, in our construction industry, we see different type of buildings: residential, commercial, IT, malls, hospitals. There are so many different type of buildings. That's why the load encountered by each of the connection must be different, right? So if the loads are different, then there will be different rebar dials selected, there will be different grade of concrete, there will be different working conditions, like different seismic condition. I am designing a building, one in Delhi or Gurgaon, another one I am designing in low seismic zone, which is say Hyderabad. So all these conditions can only be served by designing each and every connections. And if I be more specific towards it, there are different type of connections that we encounter when we do post-install connections. Example, one are commonly known as end anchorages or rigid connections, wherein the new rebar is installed perpendicular to the existing bar.
Right.
Example, like a beam is attached to a column or a wall. Then there are connections like splice connection, in which a new rebar is installed parallel to the existing bar, like slab extension, column extension, beam extension, and so on and so forth. And that's why there are different codes available to design such connections. Like for rigid connections, I have IOTA TR069 guideline. For designing splices, I have EC2 Part 1 TR023. For designing the retrofitting jobs or increasing the concrete overlays connection or the designing of shear connectors, I have IOTA TR066. That's why, since the building types are different, its working conditions are different, loads are different, design codes are different, so much differences. That's why we should always treat every connection as unique. Hence, it becomes important to design.
Wow. So guys, we saw why is designing so important. In fact, the most important part in any structural design, and you must go for designing your post-install rebar connections. But let's concentrate on the how part. We talked so much about why is designing so important and we should design a rebar connection, but how do we design a post-install rebar connections? And to understand this, I would like to call upon Kaushal Agarwal, who is working as the product manager for software and services with Hilti India and comes with an industry experience of over 10 years. Hello Kaushal.
Hello Anvesha, and I'm very excited to be here being part of this Hilti Live episode and be able to interact with all of our live viewers.
Right. So thank you first of all for giving us time from your busy schedule for this Hilti Live episode. So Kaushal, I would like to start our conversation with a question on designing. So we are in a digital age. Everything is digital. So how is Hilti helping its clients or our customers in designing in this modern age?
You are right, Anvesha. It is a digital age, and the most important requirement of this age is that the designers want to simulate the actual job site conditions on the software. As a result, they will be able to give the most optimized solution and again contribute towards the safer and sustainable infrastructure development. But to answer your question more specifically, Hilti does offer a futuristic software design technology in the form of process engineering. And I'm very confident that some of you are already reaping the benefits of process engineering. In case you are not, let me tell you that process engineering is a cloud-based software, and it offers the solutions for all your fastening design solutions, whether it is steel to concrete, whether it is masonry, steel to masonry, or concrete to concrete. But since this episode is more towards post-installed rebar connections, let me concentrate on the concrete to concrete modules inside process engineering.
Right.
And when we first tried to introduce the concrete to concrete modules inside process, the most important requirements was to make this technology very accessible. That means everyone should be able to access it. That was the first and foremost requirement.
Right.
What we did is we made it part of the cloud-based technology, which means, again, emphasizing on the part that they can access it anywhere on any of the devices. The second part was, as I said in the beginning, was to simulate the actual job site conditions. We have seen many situations on the job site, such as different dias are there inside the same layer. There are different type of arrangements, irregular rebar arrangements being there. We were not able to simulate them earlier, but now with Profis, it is a possibility. The third is, as Prashant already explained, that there are three types of connections, such as the end anchorage, which are of the moment type, the splice connections, and of course, the third type is the overlays. All of three can be simulated within the similar interface, as well as the software offers you the choice that you can select the best of the design method. With all that, the most important requirement of all the structural engineer is the documentation. The software gives you a very detailed documentations with codal references, which will again aid you in your documentation requirement.
Okay, right. So, Kaushal, everything said and understood. Even our viewers, I think they tried to understand everything, but all of this seems to be more effective if our viewers can see this solution for themselves. So what should our clients do if any one of us or any one of them is actually interested in seeing this version of process engineering at their job site or maybe at their offices? What should they do?
Very nice question. And it's very easy to access the software, Anvesha. What they need to do is just need to go and visit processengineering.hilti.com and register themselves, and they will be having the access to the software. In case you are facing any of the problems, what our viewers can do is they can also visit the process engineering page on hilti.in. There they will find a support link where they can give their details, and we will actually reach out to them and will give you the digital demo if you need that, or give you support in giving access to the software. What is also coming up on this 20th of this month, 20th April, is a live webinar where we will go into the feature details of concrete to concrete modules inside process engineering. Because of limited time of Hilti live episode, we have given you only the glimpse. But in the live webinar, you will have those features explained in much more details.
Right, very interesting, my friends. So if you really want to know on this solution, on this software, I would request you all to get yourselves registered for this webinar. The link to the webinar is posted in the comment section below. Please get yourselves registered so that you can see this software, what the software offers in detail for yourselves and with our topic experts, right?
Perfect, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Kaushal, for your time. So my friends, we had a very informative session today on safety demands rebarring connection designs. And I'm sure you must have a lot of comments, feedbacks, queries to share with us. I would request you all to share all your concerns in the chat box below, and I would get back to you with all your solutions. Today we saw a lot of things. We saw what is rebarring, we saw why is rebarring important, why is designing important, and how to get yourselves onboarded with Hilti's process engineering software. If you really liked today's episode, I would request you to hit the thumbs up button, share the video with your peer network, and share your feedbacks in the chat box below. I will see you in the next episode. Till then, take good care of yourselves. Goodbye.